This is Bumping Into Walls, a show about living with vision loss, the challenges, the successes, and the day-to-day walls we all bump into.
Welcome to Bumping Into Walls. I'm Catherine McLeod, coming to you from a very well sanitized Prod 2 at CJSW 90.9 FM, Calgary, Alberta. Sitting, probably slightly more than a safe personal distance of 2 meters away from a very well sanitized Jesse Tregarson. Hi, Jesse.
Hi.
I almost forgot who you were after that long introduction.
Well, at least I'm well sanitized.
And that wouldn't be the first time I've forgotten who I was introducing either. So how are you doing, Jesse, in these rather weird times?
I'm hanging in there. I think we're all just surviving and trying to adapt to the way things are now.
Well, that's one thing that those of us with disability do is we recognize that things have changed and we try to adapt. That's what someone said to me one time, that people with disability tend to be good at is we recognize a problem and we learn to adapt, and we tend to adapt rather well. And speaking of persons with disability, most of our listeners will recognize one voice tends to not be here right at the moment, and we are going to attempt to phone Anthony Hodges a little bit later. Now, that's going to kind of be the theme of the show right now today, is how things have been for persons with disability in these rather weird times. Now, my first real inkling that things were going to be a little bit different in our household was with my partner. He was ordering one of his medications and was having a hard time getting it. It's one of his eye drops, and it comes in one of those plastic ampules, and it was a little bit more difficult than usual to get, and I suspect it was probably because it comes from China. And because of this being a disease that started in China, a lot of the labor force in China was shut down, so a lot of our medications that we normally get were a lot more difficult than usual to get. And so that was kind of one of the first inklings that things were going to be a little bit more difficult. And I think that a lot of the things that were a little more unusual were a little more difficult to get in the beginning. Some of our diabetic friends might have discovered some of their things were a little more difficult to get. Some of the ways that they get their medications were a little more difficult to get. And then it was kind of funny, this happened all in 1 week. I had 2 things that were canceled. My tax clinic was canceled, and my dental appointment was canceled. This happened in early March. And it was like, oh, good. All I can do is laugh because, all of a sudden, that's all of a sudden stopped.
Yeah.
And then the really weird thing that happened was, of course, the toilet paper thing, and all of us could just shake our heads over that. I still don't quite understand why there was a big run on toilet paper. Rick and I did not run out of toilet paper, but we didn't hoard it either. We just happened to have enough, but I guess we just weren't big users of toilet paper. I don't know. That's one of the funniest things, and I think years from now we're all going to be laughing about that. But the big thing, I think, was one day, and this was still in March, he went over to the grocery store, and once again, we were not doing anything out of the normal. We were just going and buying regular groceries, and he went over to just get some meat for supper, and he was getting some milk. He drinks milk, I don't. And a couple of other odds and ends. And he came home and he said, Kathy, you're not going to believe this. There was nothing in the store. And I said, what are you talking about? And he said, there was nothing. And he said, every shelf was empty. All I could get was milk. He said there were 6 jugs of milk left in the dairy section. And this was the new normal all of a sudden. And for us as persons with disability, we couldn't just jump in the car and go look at another grocery store.
Yeah.
That was when it really began to hit us that things were not going to be normal anymore. But the people in the grocery store were completely shell-shocked. This was, how is this going to work now? We had some soup for supper that night, but it took several days before gradually some things started appearing on the grocery store shelves again. And this is a major grocery store chain that we live near. It wasn't a little mom and pop store or anything like that. But it was just shocking that this would be happening. Now, how did things go for you, Jesse?
I watched the news. Well, first I want to report that the toilet paper operations are still running smoothly in my house.
Oh, you haven't been stuck with doing magazines or anything?
Nope, we're still doing good in that department. I haven't. It's not personally something I've started to worry about yet. If we do start to run low, one of us is going to have to make the ultimate sacrifice. And
apparently, bidet sales have gone up. I don't know.
I would think so. I think that's the ultimate solution here. Toilet paper is kind of an antiquity. Like let's just
let's go European.
Yeah, exactly. But no, I watched the news. Like everyone else, a lot of people, saw this thing starting to build, and everything. And I remember thinking, oh, is this, this is going to be like H1N1.
Yeah, which was bad enough.
Yeah. But I kept watching, life kept going on. And then,
and I felt terribly sorry for the Chinese people.
Yeah.
All the stories we got from there.
Yeah. But I guess it didn't really occur to me that it was going to affect us over here at that level,
No, not at that level, no.
And so, like, honestly, I think things really changed for me the day that they really changed for everyone else, and that being that, wake up in the morning, just as early as that weekend, we'd gone out for supper and whatnot, and then wake up this Sunday morning and, first I hear that the malls are reducing their hours, and we were in the middle of the great toilet paper hoard of 2020 at that time. So obviously we were starting to feel the effects. The church I used to go to had emailed to say they were canceling their services. But some of the other churches were still going at that time. And then the announcement comes down, all schools and daycares and everything are ordered shut.
Yeah, just overnight.
Yeah, and just like that, everything just changed.
And that didn't just affect persons with disability. That affected everyone.
Mm-hmm.
Just overnight.
And then, funny that afternoon, and again, it's the stupidest littlest thing, but and I was with someone sighted, and we were able to get a driver. But as a person with a disability, this could really, mess things up. A fair amount of people I know, like a lot of my friends who are blind, and I don't know how you work, Kathy, but a lot of them like to operate on cash.
I do as well. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I don't. So I mean, at least that is still working for me. But I know a lot of people do, and a friend and I went to order some Skip the Dishes, and couldn't because it said we are not accepting cash at this time due to the pandemic. So couldn't order food.
But my son operates completely with apps on his phone. Now, my son is fully sighted, but he found that he was all of a sudden having trouble with phone apps on his phone.
Well, yeah, with the internet being overloaded and everything, I would.
That's another problem, is that I've had problems with talking to people and mobile phones just dropping. I've been talking to you, and all of a sudden, we've lost the call.
Yeah, I've actually lost a lot of calls lately.
Yeah. It's not just people not wanting to talk to you, Jesse.
Yeah.
I promise you, I didn't hang up on you.
Mm-hmm. And as I'm sure we're all feeling, that's especially if you're trying to call anything government related or the banks or...
It's been impossible. And it's, trying to get things straightened out with everything. It's been so difficult.
Yeah. And
it's not just persons with disability, it's everyone.
Mm-hmm.
It makes you wonder, is life ever going to be anything close to normal again? Ever? Are these big warehouses we call malls ever going to be anything again? I don't know. It's scary.
Yeah.
So maybe we'll take a hand wash break and see if we can call Mr. Hodgetts. What do you think?
Sounds like a good idea.
Okay, we're going to get the young Mr. Tregarson to sing us away into a hand wash break while we give a call.
Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. Up above the world, like a diamond in the sky. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. Up above the world so high, like a diamond in the sky. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are.
Thank you, Sid. That was fantastic. Jesse, I think you have a star in the making.
I think so, too.
Anyway, hello, Mr. Hodgetts.
Hey, how you doing?
We are doing well. How are you doing? Are you out of the shower?
Oh, yes. Yes, I've been out for a while.
I didn't tell you this, Jesse, but Anthony has very little to do these days other than shower. So, anyway, how has life been treating you now that you're in lockdown?
Well, everything that one used to do has stopped, basically. From art class to church to... Now, that's not a bad thing. That gives you time to do other things. So our class has stopped.
So what are you doing?
Bowling is stopped.
Other than showering?
Well, no, actually, that was a running joke. But I actually do a lot of listening to podcasts. I listen to a lot of books, go for walks.
How are the books working? Because CELA's Center for Equitable Library Access, their website says that they're not sending out books or CDs, and the library, the Calgary Public Library, is closed. So how are you accessing books?
I've got it on a on my player, I've got a bunch of, on my card, I've got a bunch of books. They still you can still get them online. You can still pick up books online from the Center for Equitable Libraries service. You can still pick them up that way, but that seems to be the only way that you are able to pick them up at the moment.
So what do you do, sit at your computer and listen to them?
No, what I did is I stick them on a memory card, shove them in my player, and done.
Oh, okay.
That's easy.
All right. So that's what your little tip is.
Yeah. If you're looking for books, if you've got a Braille display, you can even get Braille books that way as well.
And same goes with the public library. If you're using Overdrive or any of those things, you're good in that regard as well.
And there are other apps, like there's the Dolphin app, which I have a lot of trouble working. But then I'm not that great technically, but I've had trouble working the Dolphin app. It's supposed to be real easy, but I have yet to find it to be so. But I'm sure I'll get cards and letters from people saying, it is easy, you dummy.
Try and chase a dolphin. That's not easy.
But anyway, I get download to player, so I get lots of books. So direct to player. So I'm fine. But for people who are only getting CDs,
you're pretty
difficult.
Much done, unfortunately.
But your tip, if you're getting them and you just put them onto the
onto the
on a memory card
SD
and
card,
in your player, and off you go.
Yeah.
Just hope your memory card is going to hold out.
Well, it should. It
does.
They don't.
You can, like I said, it's great that way.
Yeah.
I've learned a lot of things that I've never been able to have time for before. So there's a lot of great things about being this way. I mean, you have a lot of time to try new things, listen to new things, try new music.
Mm-hmm. And I've got a Braille No Touch Plus. I'm very fortunate that way. I have one of those, and so I've been busy learning all the different things on it. And it's a pretty neat device, and it does have a Braille display on it, so it's kind of great. The CNIB, everybody is working from home.
That's true,
so you can still call the CNIB and use the regular phone numbers if you know them, and get a hold of the different people if you need to talk to them. So if you need help, technical assistance, you can call Ali, and he will help you with your iPhone or whatever.
And that probably goes for every agency. You can at least give it a try, right?
Yeah, you can probably get assistance of some sort.
Yeah, it would all be virtual, of course, but that is available.
And you can certainly, I mean, most of the agencies, they do have people that are certainly willing to try and help you. It's the biggest thing is trying to get help, because everybody's working from home, and so a lot of the phone lines are tied up. I know that one day I had trouble even getting my voicemails off of my phone because the system was overloaded, and I got a message to try later. I think one of the most amazing things for me, and I keep scratching my head over this, is why the computer stores are closed and not considered to be an essential service, why the communications businesses, so all of the phone companies, are not considered to be an essential service. So try to get a hold of them. I mean, my phone provider sent a message telling me that they were basically closed for business. I should just go online if I needed anything, unless it was absolutely over the top important. Why all of that is not considered essential, but the liquor store is essential.
Yeah.
I guess because and when I really am at my wit's end, I should just go get drunk. I don't know. I guess one of the things we need to talk about then is, what do you see the new normal, like the new normal being after eventually someday, when this does become the new normal? I mean, someone I know told me that they went over to a friend's house, and the friend asked them to wash their hands as soon as they walked in the door. And my friend said, sure, So I'm wondering if you see that as being something to be a new normal eventually.
Yeah, I think the new normal would be for the disabled here. It could be a real boom in jobs because now companies know people are able to work from home. So, I mean, that may be something in the future that will open some doors, which I think would be great. A lot more things are going to be happening. I know doctors are using telehealth now where you just grab your old iPhone and they give you a call and you just turn your camera on and they can, I don't know how that would work, but it is a possibility, right?
Well, I think some of that was already happening, though.
Yeah, but it's promoted. It seems to be promoted
it's
more
becoming
now.
more prevalent now.
Yeah.
And I think, it does open the door, like you said.
What do you think, Jesse?
It's actually a bit more of a hope than it is a think, but I think it is already starting to happen, and I hope it continues to happen. Which is that I think a lot of more recognition is going to start to be given to the people who are out on the front lines working every day. The people that are doing all the hard work as opposed to the people at the top of the chain. And that has, I have heard of that. It's been happening a lot lately, realizing that when the rest of the world shut down, the grocery store clerks and the nurses and the
cleaners,
the cleaning staff and everything had to keep going when the rest of the world shut down.
The people stocking the shelves, the truck drivers, there's a lot of people that have been working 12-hour days, and I don't think that we think about them during normal times enough.
And I think that this is hopefully causing us to think.
I think sometimes we take each other for granted too, though.
Well, and that's kind of the other little thing is that I hope that we can. You'll often see like a table full of people and each one of them's playing on their phones. Well, now we've been forced to communicate only by phone and not be able to sit at a table with 5 friends and talk to them. So I really hope that when all this is over, we can really appreciate what it is to sit at a table with 5 friends and talk to them. Because, we took that for granted.
Well, that, and I don't know, and also the ability to choose, because I've certainly talked to both of you about this and other people. I don't mind staying at home, but I like it to be by choice.
Yes.
It's the ability to choose what I get to do has been nice. Now, one of the things, and this is my partner Rick, because he's been the shopper, but it's so funny because he's an ex-truck driver, so people going in the right direction has always been very important to him. And you'll find this funny, but he loves the fact that they've got arrows in the stores directing people in the right direction.
You won't have all these people just roaming, right?
And he's hoping that they'll keep those going once this is all over.
Why not? That makes sense.
And he loves the fact, he keeps telling all the store managers in the store that he loves the fact that they have the arrows making people go all in the same direction. Now, I do remember hearing about something in Montreal that they were doing this actually on the street, that on one sidewalk, everyone was going with one flow of traffic, and on the opposite sidewalk, they were going with the other sidewalk. Now, that works in some ways, but I'm wondering how it work in Calgary, for instance, because you have to be able to get the C-train, for instance. And so if you're on one sidewalk going in one direction, you have to be able to get the C-train on the other side. So it doesn't really work on 7th Avenue, for instance, if you're going in one direction and not on the other. You know what I mean? But anyway, no, I thought it was hilarious that Rick just loves the fact that the grocery stores, they're making people go in one direction. But I do agree, because it is a little frustrating when people are going willy-nilly.
When they're jumping in to grab stuff in front of you.
But there's 2 sides to every coin.
Yeah.
You know, on one hand, it can be tough as a blind person, but on the other hand, we hope, in an ideal world at least, that it would mean that people would be less apt to jump out and grab us.
That's a good thing, yeah.
I'm not sure if it's going to happen that way, but maybe.
But we've just been talking about trying not to be socially distant.
Mm-hmm.
And trying, and I hope that people as well, I really hope that thing stays with people about washing your hands, covering your face when you need to cough or sneeze, staying home when you're sick.
Basic common sense stuff that
we all learned
should
a
have
long
been,
time ago.
Yeah, you know, it shouldn't have had to been reiterated so much during these times.
Yeah. Yeah, and it would really make things an awful lot easier. I mean, that's why I
learned to
usually
cough into my elbow when I was in 3rd grade.
Yeah, me too.
Well, even earlier than that. You know, I was taught to cough and sneeze into a tissue when I was little.
Yeah, me too. But at the same time, there's a lot of good things that could come out of this. I think people that are involved in programs they're not going to take them for granted anymore. Going to art class for me is something that I kind of was like, do I want to keep doing it? And then I'm like, yeah, I do. But a lot of times, simple things like going to get a haircut. I haven't done that yet. So
we were talking about that off air, actually, about how much we want to get our hair done.
I was lucky I got it done before the lockdown happened, so.
Well, I got it done at the end of February, and it's the end of April, and it's usually 2 months is kind of a limit for me. So I'm kind of starting to go crazy where it's starting to bug me a bit, and it's like, I am lucky enough to have a hairdresser in the family, but due to physical distancing, for me to travel to her house and have her do it for me.
I just wanted to say that our listening audience has always been a part of everything that we've been talking about anyway, but this time we're really all in this together.
Mm-hmm.
We know that you out there are all living this as well, and we'd be really interested in hearing what you're going through as well. So just drop us a line at bumpingintowalls@gmail.com and tell us your stories too.
Yeah, reach out to us on the Twitter or on the email. You know, the contact information that's at the end of every show. You know, like we're all stuck inside, but let's not let it.
Or outside. The weather is getting better.
Yes.
The weather is getting better.
There is that going on, and I hope that people come to appreciate the beauty of going to sit in your yard and relax at the end of all of this anyways.
And you can go for short walks or long walks as long as you're not going to
get lost.
Oh, no.
Okay, well, I'm pretty sure that we've probably fascinated people long enough. So thank you very much for listening, everyone. Mm-hmm. And next month, I think we've actually got a guest for you to listen to that we recorded back before all of this happened. Mm-hmm. So stay tuned next month to see what walls we've been actually bumping into.
All right. And thanks, Anthony, for joining us all the way from the other end of the phone line.
Yeah, that's a great for it. Tune in next time to see what people, places, or things we've been bumping into.
To contact Bumping Into Walls, find us on Twitter at @into_walls. Or send us an email at bumpingintowalls@gmail.com. You can also check out our website, bumpingintowalls.wordpress.com.
Bumping Into Walls is produced, edited, and hosted by
Jesse Tregarthen,
Anthony Hodges,
and Catherine McLeod.